here as undergrads, we did like everything. Like we fell in love, with the Quinn.
Yeah.
I came first in the spring of 2001. My brother was still at Jarvis, and I was a commuter. I didn't stay in a residence hall, so I didn't really know anybody. I got hooked up with student support services, and my math tutor, her name Jennifer Strong, now Jennifer Mosley, best friends from that day forward. She ended up being my line sister. So that summer I got involved with Upward Bound. I worked Upward Bound almost every summer. And then in the fall,
every summer,
I became like sophomore class parliamentarian. Like I really started plugging in and getting involved. And I was like, I want more and more and more. And so, that's when I pledged in fall of 01. And was like, after that, it took off. My brother came in spring of 02, same thing.
But I was involved in Jarvis, so it was nothing different. But it was one of those things where we realized being here that it's all about your co-curricular experience. It's not just what you learn in the classroom. It's what you learn in the residence halls, it's what you learn in your organizations. And that's why we fell in love with the profession that we're in now. Student affairs, we can't imagine being anything else. Because, and it's one of those things where if you become invested in your institution, it's been proven that you will be retained and you will give back. And you will graduate. And it may not be necessarily, some people tithe their money, some people tithe their time, some people, reach back to pull others where they are. For us, mentoring is very important. And the thing about it is, like y'all have, if you're not in dress code, the signs, you can't come in. Outside of my office, I have this is a no sagging zone. If I see your drawers, you can't come into my office. Right. And so I will stand at the threshold of that door, like, you need to pull your pants up if you want to come in here.
I'll just yell it out my door.
Yeah.
Pull your pants up! The president has done an awesome job with the dress code situation and raising that expectation. It's all about placing expectations in situations that students can really take it and nurture it and understand, I am being watched. And let them know there's life after the Queen. You graduate, day after you graduate, now what? What you gonna do? Because you can't sit up here and say, oh, I'm bored, or I'm this, or I didn't get this in college. Yes, you did. You just didn't take advantage of it. Show them what they're being given. Because luckily they're being given it here. Out there, it's gonna cost.
And see, for me, it's like being a student here and working here. I see it on both ends of the spectrum, in that I was administration and I was a student. And I feel like, as Zach said, the branding is there. It's excellent. You see it. There are new initiatives, and that's amazing, because if you keep doing what you've always done, you're always going to get what you've always got. She instilled in me the thirst for, because I was a secondary education major, but my passion was history, and she nurtured that historical side for me. To this day, I read random things because of Ad Matthews.
Yes, I feel the same.
And we had that classroom in what we used to call the Price Branch building, because it was Price Branch when we were here, but y'all call it the Hearst Adams. That classroom in the corner.
She still had that classroom.
Right about
she still had that classroom.
Yeah.
That's still hers.
Yeah. And she would we would have the richest, most subjective discussions about anything. Middle Eastern history, African history, Indian history, all of it. She founded the Du Boisian Connection, which was our history club. And I was president of the Du Boisian Connection. And to this day, it still instills in me that thirst for knowledge. That's why I like learning about everything, because of her.
Miss Weeks? What? That's another one. Miss Weeks?
Clarice Bentley Weeks.
Miss Weeks, come here, baby.
Yeah.
Mr. Science, I just need to find the book, Miss Weeks. Baby, you just looking at me. Just come on.
She did me like that. She said, baby, what section?
What section? I remember when I first stepped foot on the yard, not knowing what I was going to be, and then seeing who I turned into. And the people you meet. And Paul Quinn did that for me. It did that for so many countless people. It did that for us. And we
wouldn't be who we are today without Paul.
Without the Quinn. Back then, I didn't know that I was being mentored. But knowing now, so that's what that was.
I'm doing the same thing to these kids that they did to me.
Right. I'm asking the same fool party questions that I asked.
You know, Jesus.
So,
That's a fire.
I take that with me and realize that Paul Quinn is the reason that I have this care and this compassion for these students
and accountability
because if there was somebody in my position that did not look like them, what would happen? Would they get the same loving care asking that person versus asking myself or my brother or somebody that looks like them?
Yep.